What does a beautiful future look like to you?
You can flip a negative mood on its head.
This was a talk that was all over the place, but then New York, you are all over the place.
There are experiences that you just don't get anywhere else.
Hi, I'm Bridger Winegar. I am a writer on the hit comedy Showtime series Black Monday, and I host a podcast called I Said No Gifts, but we're not here to talk about that. We're here to talk about Black Monday. And I want to thank you for joining us for this 92nd Street Y Talk with the cast of Black Monday. Don Cheadle, Regina Hall, Paul Scheer, Casey Wilson, Andrew Rannells. Welcome.
Hi.
Hello.
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 How y'all doing?
Excellent.
Bridger,
Good. Thank you for having me.
yes, thank you. And thanks 92nd Street Y. I love the 92nd Street Y and
Best.
all of their programming.
And my children attended the 92nd Street Y when we were I was doing a play in New York, and they used to cry every day when I would make them walk back from the subway station. So fond memories. Fond memories. And that's where I took my shower at a Y this morning before I did this press tour. So it's all worked out. All thematic.
We're now in my kitchen, which is kind of the 92nd Street Y of my house. And
Your plant work is lovely.
Oh, God bless you. Many of these plants are dying, but for right now, they look alive and they're camera ready. So, well,
Just
let's
like
get
me. Yes.
just like Casey. Casey is looking fantastic. Everybody's house is looking nice, by the way.
I'm going.
It's just all about finding the best lighting situation in your home right now. So,
Basically.
True.
Truly.
well, at the end of season 2 of Black Monday, there were obviously a lot of big developments for every one of your characters. And just for the viewer, for people watching, I'd like you each to give us a quick update on where you are at the beginning of season 3. Maybe we'll start with Dawn.
Well, we find Mo at the beginning of season 3, really trying to lean into, for him, what is somewhat of a nostalgic space. One of his first loves in music. At the beginning of season 2, actually, we found Mo and Keith sort of on the run in Miami, hiding out, and Mo was playing in a little hotel lobby band, playing bass and kind of living out his fantasy of just doing that and giving up his dream of being a financial magnate and just moving into something that felt real and grounded. And at the top of season 3, we find him leaning more into that dream and really trying to be to have a music label and get into jazz and be completely the antithesis of the person that he's been for 2 seasons.
Feels like he's always trying to get away from who he is, basically.
100%. And thanks, guys, in the writing room for continuing that journey for Mo Monroe. I love how Bridger's just being like he has nothing to do with any of this. All of this is your fault, basically. So I should be asking.
I was not present at all.
Yeah.
He's like,
I was
someone
completely
did this
checked
to you.
out.
Right. When I wrote this for you, Don.
Yeah, well, Don, you bring up an interesting thing about this season is it feels like a pretty big shift for the show away from Wall Street. I mean, Wall Street still plays a part, but we're largely in music and fashion and politics this season. So I think that's exciting. And
and I think great that it's still coming too. That even though it's like one of those things that we talked about, it's like you may be done with Wall Street, but Wall Street's not done with you. I think that's something that plays, probably the arc, obviously, of the season as the sins of this team's past are coming to haunt them.
Right. And Regina, you are also involved in music this season, but you're at the end of season 2, you were headed to prison. So do you want to give us a little update on that?
Yeah, so Dawn starts the season. Well, she ended season 2 in prison, and she starts season 3 in prison. And I think with Dawn, we will see her find her footing, but she's really kind of struggling in the beginning because she loves trading and she can't trade anymore. So although we do discover that she's learning that those skills can work for her in other places. But I think, her character is really trying to find her place in a new world and create what her new life will be post Wall Street and post prison.
Right. Well, let's see, Paul. Maybe we should talk. Let's see. I'm trying to decide based on where each of your characters is beginning this season. We might as well hear Paul's update. Why not?
I'll give a
Because
very
they're all
quick one.
intertwined.
Yeah, I think the last time you saw Keith, he was willingly left for injured, I guess, after being hit by a taxi cab. And well, yeah, my hands were all messed up, and then I'm built back better than ever by the Lehman Brothers, or the remaining Lehman brother, Larry. And now I am part of that organization. I am a Lehman brother with full hair plugs, and I now dress like Ken Marino, and I am filling that void. But with that deal with the devil, there comes a lot of extra problems. Right. And Andrew, the end of your season 2 was very dark. So let's hear about where you are now.
Well, poor Blair was heartbroken. He lost his boyfriend, lover, I don't know, Roger, and was forced into electroshock therapy to make him not gay any longer. But on the flip side, he ended up a congressman. So we find him still in shock therapy.
Win some, you lose some.
Still married to Tiff. Seemingly actually pretty happy with Tiff, but still getting shocked on the reg, and trying to be a politician to varying degrees of success. But Tiff is really the one who has sort of the major career shift in our relationship, because she's now a fashion mogul.
Right. Okay. So you
a fashion mogul. I wish you guys
fashion.
Yes.
Fashions.
Okay, so you are beginning the season with the most complicated fashion connection. Your role in the fashion industry is also intertwined with the evangelical community. Do you want to talk about that a little bit?
That's correct. It's a complicated journey. So I am now a mogul, and I run Faf Fashions with June Diane Rafel, who's coming back as a guest star. And we kind of serve two clientele, Christian clientele and largely gay club kids. And so we're trying to find the overlap there. And we have one main product, which is skants, which are, as I say it out loud, pants with a skirt over the top, so you can still be kind of demure, but also
a butt cape.
What, pardon?
A butt cape.
That's right. That's right.
For your front. A butt cape for your front.
Yeah.
They're making it sound not cute, but it's very cute. So Tiff is working for the first time, still married to Blair. We're very comfortable together, so much so that in the first episode, you will see us doing things together you wouldn't think you would see a husband and wife do. And
Thanks to your husband. Right.
Yes. Tiff is just simply working a job, which she's never done before. So that's a major character development.
Right.
I think we found in one episode that Tiff never used a pen before. That's how much Tiff has never worked.
I love that.
I didn't know how to hold it or hold it up.
Heavy.
It was.
I'm very curious about skants. Are skants difficult to wear, or is it just like putting on a pair of pants with too much fabric?
You know, they are varying degrees of difficulty. They don't feel great, but at the same time, they look great. They serve many functions, you know. You can really be whoever you want to be in a pair of skants, I've found.
I gotta say, spoiler alert, Keith does wear a pair of skants this season, and they're very comfortable. And I feel like you would see this on a young pop star. You know, I feel like I feel like Justin Bieber had those like drop crop pants or whatever. I feel like skants are very close to those, like, or whatever, drop crotch.
Pants could be huge after this season. You know that, Casey.
Yeah.
I hope. I'm trying to get some deals going on the side.
Yeah, you should.
QVC.
QVC, it's still a thing. Get them on there.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so have all described various things, and I think it's an interesting aspect of the show, which it just does all kinds of things, and it does drama and comedy and like actually mystery. And I'm wondering how, when somebody asks me, I say, oh, I write on Black Monday, I often run into difficulty describing exactly what the show is because it does so many things in such fun ways. But how do you describe the show to other people?
I go ahead, Regina. Were you gonna say something?
No, I just said out loud. Sorry.
Oh,
it sounded.
First, I'm gonna do my smart thing.
Yes, yes.
What do I say? What I tell them is, turn it on and find out, motherfucker. No, I don't say that. What I say is,
our audience.
But I like that. I like that.
I should say that. It's a comedy. It's one of the rare things. When the first panel that we did, I think year one, when we did the not the upfronts, I guess it was sort of like
TCAs
panel, the TCAs, and we said, well, it's a sitcom on cable. One of the journalists said that, and they said because those don't exist, and I was like, really? And everybody in the audience was like, yeah, those don't exist. So it's really rare that we have really what is from David. Obviously, his sweet spot was this kind of format. But now on cable, and you can kind of go and say anything on Showtime and do what we're doing. But it really is, as Casey was describing earlier, just rapid fire, these jokes back to back. And it's something that David Nevins, who was at the time we started this, head of Showtime, was saying, he still is, but he was much more that when we started, was saying, it's the kind of show where if you don't like the joke that just happened, just hang out a couple seconds here, because here's coming another one right down the pipe. And that's something that I think is pretty unique in this space. So I think talking about it is just an adult comedy with no.
Oh my gosh!
Really,
it makes me laugh every time I see adults doing it. When I look at every one of them, I went to set. I saw, I don't know what Andrew was doing the other day, and Casey, I don't even know what was going on. I wasn't in the scene, but I can't wait to watch it. But it always blows my mind. And I always say to Don, and I look at Paul, and I'm like, we're adults. Like, we act like this. And we are like, these characters are adults and they're out of their mind. And when my husband, David Cass, when he created the show, I think that was his.
What happened?
Hold on.
Sorry.
Wait a second.
I was just saying.
I think you misspoke, Regina. I think
David Cass is my husband.
What happened?
Nope, not your husband either, Bridger. Yeah. David Cass, actually the
obviously
woman.
married to Don.
No. Your name is actually on the Zoom.
He's my friend with benefits.
Why I have Cass on my name?
Yeah, you have Cass on your name.
We might want to get David in here just to clarify what's happening.
Let me make sure. Oh, Casey Wilson. There it is.
Independent woman.
I'm gonna change mine to what it really should be, because I don't know why that's in there. Here we are.
Let me see. I gotta know.
Yeah.
Oh. Wow.
Oh.
Well, explain that to my 4 children. Really unfair. Yeah, the show. Getting back to this serious conversation about Black Monday, if we could just steer it back. I think every one of your characters, obviously, I was talking to a friend recently about, we were trying to figure out what makes an unlikable character and what makes a character who does bad things likable. I think there's a big difference between the two. There are a lot of characters on TV that you don't want to watch, and they might even do nothing. All of your characters do horrible things all the time, but we're rooting for them. And I'm curious, how do you approach that as an actor? How do you make a character who drives somebody to kill themselves, or somebody, throws someone out a window? How do you make that likable?
Well, I think you have to have no judgment as a character about your character, or as an actor about your character. Like, everyone's trying their best is what I think about with a lot of us, is that we're all trying. We're all trying to get things right, and maybe sometimes in order to right things, we have to do a few wrong things to get back to a place where we have more control over our lives.
That's very generous. That's so generous.
Very.
But I don't think you can go into it as, this is he's or they are doing bad things. It's that they are trying their best to sort of keep themselves afloat.
Well, yeah.
And it doesn't always end as planned, but they're trying their best.
Well,
Yes.
I also say that David and Jordan and you, everybody in this writer's room, does a great job of showing the point of view of the character and justifying why this decision makes sense. Like, you always feel in the moment, like whether or not it's, and I'll go back to season 1 when my character steals a Nintendo from my boyfriend, like, and breaks up with him or lies to him just to get this Nintendo. It's all out of the thought to bring it to his own son. So it is like it's son's bar mitzvah, but yet he's betraying his boyfriend. Like, there's a lot
and your wife,
yeah,
remember,
and my wife, yeah. So like, yeah, there's a lot of you get to see the reasoning behind it, I guess, or at least you understand why. I think the Breaking Bad did a great job of that too. Like Walter White, like, even though the logic was skewed, it was at least the logic that made sense, right? Until it didn't, and then he just became really evil. So I think all of our characters are on those levels of just like, this feels right.
Complex. Humans are complex.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like last season when I found myself with a child actor splayed across me, spanking him for being bad. Who later then turned out to be the son of Donald Trump in the 80s. You have to take these scenarios and find a way in as an actor. And Tiff, I think, doesn't have as many redeemable qualities as I think some of the others here have, and or I haven't found a way to humanize her in the same way that they have. But I definitely try to approach her with optimism, just because I think that's funny when someone is terrible, that they're almost optimistic that they're a great person. So, but it's mainly just so fun to play them.
And I think all these people, minus 1, 2, 3 or 4 of them, I think
that's all
that they're all really good people. So I think watching like people who are really good people and funny and talented do it, you just, you like them. They're all minus 1, 2, 3, 4 of them. They're infectious. And so because they're very infectious beings, like, you want to go on the journey to watch. Don?
No, I'm sorry. I'm talking to my lighting designer.
Oh, okay.
Thanks.
Oh, okay. It didn't feel like it. Okay.
Come over to my house. Go on.
Sorry. Were you saying something, Regina?
Yeah, no, I just was saying, I was saying that you guys, minus 1, 2, 3, 4. No, wait, no, see, it's happening again.
Oh, my bad. Hold on a second. Are you talking again? It's almost like we're on set. I'm sorry, buddy.
See?
No, it's fine.
Everyone shows everyone so much respect here.
Yes.
That's what's nice.
That's what it is.
That's what's nice.
How has being on set been during COVID? I'm very curious about that.
Wild. Really, really weird. I will say that all of us had a lot of trepidation about coming back. We're very nervous about it. I think some people on this Zoom, I won't mention any names, have been on shows where they've had to shut down several times as a result of COVID. We've been very fortunate on our show. I mean, we had.
Are you talking about my show, Kissing Booth, which was a live reality show where I had people kiss me during COVID? I mean, yes, we had some problems there. It was not.
I love all the people you traveled in from Florida and Texas. That was a good idea, Paul.
It was an international show. I was trying to do something different. All right,
Yes.
I wasn't going to point you out, but now that you mentioned it, your tongue, the tongue kissing episode was a particular thing.
They were all tongue kissing. That was the challenge. It was a tongue kissing challenge. Yeah.
So we kind of assumed.
The winner got the vaccine, one half.
Yes.
Yes.
One half of Johnson and Johnson.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Just got the Johnson.
You just got Johnson. You didn't get the other Johnson part. Yeah. But it was it's been a challenge, but I will, it's a testament, I think, to Sony and the stringent protocols, and like Jasmine, queen of put your mask on set. I think
stand apart.
Yeah, we've been very fortunate. And look, this is one of those things where we all trust each other, and we know that that's the main thing that's going to protect us, that we're all doing what we're supposed to do away from set. and you come on set, that's actually one of the safest places that you can be.
Hold on. How many of y'all is it coming in? It's like 15?
Whoa.
No, come in. You don't need no mask. It's safe in here.
2, 3.
Gina, Paul.
Well, you know, it's fine.
Gina, please.
You guys are the worst.
No, my friends from my family from Georgia is here.
Oh, they all go to the strip club all the time.
Yeah, they just left the party. They took the red eye. It's like, oh, here.
You know, I will say too, one of the craziest things was like one of our co-creators, Jordan, he was standing outside, perfectly protocol safe, but he had taken down his mask to take a drink of something, and I didn't know that this man had a beard. I've been interacting with him for weeks, like, because you're just used to seeing everybody with this mask on at all times. And it really took me by surprise. Yeah.
The worst part of that is like you think someone's cute, and so you're flirting, and then later you come to find out, no, they're not.
Casey, they're recording this. They're recording.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry.
It's not your fault.
All I'm saying is try to find an ID card or something first before you get into deep.
Before you go in. Yeah.
No, this has been a golden age for people with cold sores, people with braces.
It's really true.
Yeah.
Now is the time to get adult braces.
Yeah.
If you're cute from here up, you're winning.
Oh, you're banging. You're killing it.
This is the pretty odd people time.
If you're here, you're killing it. Yes, you're killing it.
Kill it.
Don, you mentioned earlier that Mo kind of starts this jazz label this season. It's almost a passion project for him, and I'd like to hear what each of you would do if you were not in entertainment. What pursuit you would, if you would have one. I'm curious about that.
I mean, what's hilarious is that mine would be the same. Mine would be what Mo's is.
Yeah.
I started off before being an actor, being a musician, and I still keep it up pretty, I did a film based on a musician and won a Grammy for the album. But
wow.
Did I win a Grammy?
There we go.
There we go.
Always need the spotlight.
Sorry. I have a question for the question. Is it something you'd be doing like in a dream, meaning like if you didn't have the talent? Are you saying like that you have to work with what you have?
You have to work with what you have.
You have to work with what you have. We're not giving you fantasy skills here.
Okay.
Oh wow, I wish we could have got fantasy.
That hurt. That's so harsh, but okay.
Where were you gonna go with that, Regina?
Yeah.
Well, I don't know. I was thinking, do I sound like Whitney Houston? Can I sing? I was gonna ask, because if I had that voice, then yes. But you just shit on me and said I wasn't allowed.
We'd all want to sound like Whitney Houston if we could do that, for sure.
I know that's.
Well, I'm saying if I could sing, I'd sing, but I can't sing.
So what would you be doing?
Now I got to rethink it. I got to revamp it.
Right.
I know what Regina's would be. Can I take a stab at it?
Yes.
You would be an international journalist or a novelist.
No. But that's interesting that you thought it. I like it.
Can't you just say yes and make people think I'm smart, or do I have to?
Oh God, yes. That was like right. That was one of them.
Got it. Go ahead. Next person.
I've always thought, like, especially after like bad auditions or bad meetings or things like that, that my go-to is always, I'm just gonna move to a port town, like in a Nicholas Sparks novel, and just open like a scone shop or sell vintage furniture and just like wear like baggy sweaters and just not ever think about deadline or, any of those things ever again, and just live in my port town.
I'd be a Buddhist monk. I'd be a Buddhist monk.
Oh, that's right. You did have some monkish, monastic. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah, I would do that. Like, I'd probably go somewhere and be like in a little monastery. Well, I guess I can't change gender, so I'd have to be like a nun.
I feel like what you're saying is that monks have no skills.
No,
wow.
I'm saying
at the 92nd Street. Why you're saying that? This whole audience is monks.
No, I'm saying I would be thrilled to have a perhaps a cloistered life.
Oh.
And cloister that's a sea animal, right? Like,
yeah.
So, is that?
Yeah, and there's always a pearl in the cloister, right?
Yeah. And they're good with like tartar sauce.
Yeah.
So someone would be eating me?
Paul and
This is
Casey,
taking a
stop
turn.
avoiding the question.
Oh, Casey.
I would be designing water stunt shows for large theme parks based around properties that use water. So, you know, in the vein of a water world, that's what I would have. Yeah. You
You'd be
know,
doing water park.
No, not water park, water stunt shows. These would be stunt spectaculars at theme parks that you would watch where the stunt people would fall into water and things would blow up. Yeah, again, in the vein of water
blow
world.
up. Wow. So you're gonna have, that's amazing.
Floating people. Wow.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Floating people.
Cool.
Your
cool.
class action park.
Yeah.
Casey?
Okay, I genuinely have no other skill sets, so I'm stumped. But I'm with Andrew that I always picture like going to Albuquerque and making soaps that I sell, you know, on a dirt road, and I peddling my wares and maybe flower arranging.
Peddling your wares.
Yeah, and listening to the troubles of others as I arrange flowers.
And listening to the troubles of others.
I love it.
And giving
Realizing how
but
good
Casey,
you have it.
Yeah.
Have you made a soap?
No, never. Or like
Can I tell you
candy at a
something?
little Christmas candy shop or something like that.
Casey, I think I can help you make soaps. My grandmother used to make them. I could get the recipe.
Please,
My
I'm
aunt
happy
and
to. I will give everyone a wrap gift of
Yes.
soap
Oh,
that
that's
I've made.
good.
Melted
I
in the
used to
hot
want to
sun.
sell gum on a beach
Yeah, I love that.
because I love gum and I was like on a beach. I love a beach.
Gum on a beach.
That's what I wanted to sell. Gum on a beach.
Beach gum.
Oh, beach gum instead of beach bum. Oh my God, now I'm selling t-shirts and gum.
Yeah. Cool.
The season, it takes place in 1989, leading into the 90s, and I'm curious what, for the next 14 seasons, what you guys think where the show should go in the 90s. What are some 90s things we'd like to see explored?
I think it should dip. I think we should always have a toe in Wall Street. And I think there will be, unfortunately, there has been no dearth of calamitous events on Wall Street for us to lean into. And I think that should always be an element of this show because the tendrils of that reach everywhere. But I think if we're talking about what we are trying to do in season 4, if we are so fortunate to have that, where we're headed, I think is going to be pretty interesting for the 90s because it's going to be, I don't even know if we should talk about it specifically. That'd be a super spoiler to talk about season 4.
Yeah.
But I think we're all going to be, I think that's something that's fun this year is that we're mostly together. And I think our show works the best when there are most of us together in different groupings, you know.
And I'll say that to Don's point, I think the idea like big money is always at play with ideas. Like, so what are the things concessions that you make to get the money that finances whatever you're going to do? So I think this group is showing right now it's fashion, it's music, it's politics, it's Wall Street. So all these things, how they all work together, and you may not even see how they all work together as the consumer of that kind of thing. So I think that the show actually can continue to evolve and grow because all these people start to go out from where they started. Like, oh, I started out on Wall Street. Now I'm here. Now I'm here. Now I'm here. So I feel like that's really fun. And, you know, specifically body switching. I would love to see a lot more body switching. Like, you know, there's a witch who gives a spell and then we'll all switch bodies. So that I would love to see that. I think that was a big thing in the 90s, actual people body switching. That's why they made all the movies about it.
Prelude to a Kiss. That was Prelude to a Kiss in the 90s.
Prelude to a Kiss, like Father, like Son, vice versa. Parent Trap, the remake of Parent Trap, all there.
Big.
Big.
Well, Paul and I were just discussing the hit film Teen Witch the other day on set.
Yes.
So I would like to see some magic. You know,
Classic.
maybe there's season 4, there's one of us gets superpowers. I don't know.
Love that.
I'm practicing
some musical
my notes
numbers.
so I can do Bewitched. And I know that's going far back, but there was a remake. So I can't do it.
And in,
Well,
and
you
in
were
the
really
90s, and in the 90s, you know, with all those John Hughes movies, date rape was hilarious. So maybe there's,
Oh, it's so funny.
isn't it?
Yeah. And I think it'd go over well today in this time and climate, don't you?
Absolutely. I think we're primed for some more of that.
Wait, we're out of time?
We're wrapping this up.
All right.
I've been kicked out of this room. I've been kicked out. I'm gonna log back in.
No, I feel like we're headed,
Oh,
the 90s, we've got Sabrina the Teenage Witch, we've got
Yes.
Hogwarts Academy. You are all on the same page with wizarding and witching. I feel like this is a go. Season 4, we've got the magic, we have the body switching. I think that'll work.
Yeah.
Look, this is a real simple question, and I don't care. I like this question. I want to hear an answer from each of you. What is each of your favorite song from the 80s? I genuinely like to hear this kind of thing. I think people like it. I don't care if it's an easy question.
I've got a lot.
Yeah.
Regina's will be, I want to hear
you know
hers
what?
because they're definitely old, like obscure Black group.
Oh yeah,
You'll
because
never
Regina
know.
will always be like, everyone knows this song, and she'll sing it, and no one, and then we're
It's
bringing
always
out
a
like,
B-side.
yeah.
Like a
You know what it
deep-
is? I'm not dealing with a very musically evolved group of people.
Don won a
And I don't-
Grammy.
I also have a Grammy.
Okay. Well, they may be awarded. They may have, but they don't have the ears. They have the awards, but they don't have the taste.
So
My
give it-
taste.
What's yours? I want to know
my
your
range.
80s song. Go. What's your 80s
What do you
song?
got, Regina?
Gosh, I don't know. I was gonna honestly. There's so many, but there's too many. I loved Hall and Oates. Any Hall and Oates gets me right into the 80s, and I loved Loose Ends. Okay, Don.
I love Loose Ends.
Well, I
Loose
sang
Ends
one
is
of the
something off
songs that
the
they.
Anita Baker soundbook. I'd say something from the Anita Baker soundbook.
I love Anita
Oh.
Baker too.
Or Luther.
I love Luther.
And they hated one another.
Oh, they did?
Yeah, but we're not hearing a
That's
favorite
sad.
song here. I feel like this is, again, dodging the question.
Yeah.
There's just so many.
I know, there's a lot. I'm scrolling
Moments
through.
in Love.
Oh,
Okay.
that's a good one.
Okay, I have
Thank
one.
you.
Oh,
What do
wait,
you got,
wait, wait.
Casey? Okay, I was
Well,
gonna
this
go
is-
with I was
sorry.
gonna go with Heart and Soul by T'Pau because I remember roller skating in my driveway to it, and it really that really takes me back.
But I love Janet. No, Prince. It's too many. Never mind.
Get out of my dreams and into my car, Billy Ocean. I mean, come
Yeah,
on, that was my first
that's
single.
a good one.
Single.
Yes, a single. Casey, what do you got?
I like because I do it at karaoke. I don't have the voice for it, but everybody loves it. It's tried and true. I want to dance with somebody, Whitney Houston.
Oh,
Hey,
excellent
with
choice.
somebody who loves me.
Loves me.
Not
Loves
just
me.
anyone. Not
That's
just
right.
anyone.
That's
My
right.
name is not Susan.
Oh,
Is a classic
Regina,
of me and
favorite.
Andrew. We
It's
love
our
singing
favorite.
that.
All mine would be jazz that people would be like, I don't know that song. So I'm not even going to go down that line.
Oh, I
Try us.
Can't
got another one. I
wait.
really loved Papa Don't Preach by Madonna. That was a
That's a
really
good
good
one.
song for me.
I'll also say LL Cool J Bad was, for me, like a very exciting like album, and like that was
Was it bad?
Sorry.
Mama said knock you out. That was 90.
Yeah, that
that
one.
was 90. Yeah, this is the one where he was standing on his boombox out in front, like in front of like on the
With the
the
gate.
chain link.
Yeah,
fence.
yeah.
With the Kangol. Yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many. Gosh.
Well,
You go,
that's-
Bridger. What's yours?
Yeah.
That's easy for me. It's maybe my favorite song ever is "When You Were Mine" by Prince.
Oh, I love that.
Do you want me to sing it?
No.
Yes. Yeah.
I feel like it's gonna be a
You
rights
told us
issue.
you don't have musical instincts.
Can I tell you,
Sure.
When You Were Mine is one of my favorite songs, but I love Prince, so
Oh, yeah. Anything off the Prince sound out. Yeah.
anything.
Yeah,
but
and
I
you
love
can't go
When You Were
wrong.
Mine.
Yeah, that one's that's a good one. But I feel like these are all. I mean, Don, of course, famously just avoided the question again. There's probably some jazz viewer out there that does not feel seen right now, but that's
Or
okay.
heard.
They'll get over it. They're used to that. They're used to that. Trust me.
Yeah.
That's very true. That's very true.
That's okay.
Headed into this season, like, what are you most excited about? What should fans of the show be excited about?
I think I think it is fair to say that this season is more bananas than even the last two seasons, which were already bananas. This one goes somehow further, but still more grounded in a weird way. It's more intimate. I'm thinking about all of my storylines where Mo's trying to figure out how to be a real human being. But the show is still it's still insane. It's still bananas.
I don't like your storyline, Don.
Yeah,
that's all I'm gonna say.
I know.
I will say also, like, what is really fun about this show is how they can kind of cross people into different worlds. So for this season, I feel like Casey and I get to do a lot of really fun stuff together. And I haven't really worked with Casey on this show until this season. And then even Andrew and I get to do some, like everyone, we start to interact with each other in different ways. So I think that that's really fun. And constantly, I think, keeps the show a little bit fresh, because it's not like, I know that we all long to be in the office, but at the same time, it's fun to take us out of those dynamics in one location to be in different locations where our power either goes up or down based on the person that we're in the room with.
I'm actually a little disappointed that I didn't get to do more stuff with Casey this year. We only had one moment.
Yeah, me too.
And that one
very
moment,
weird moment.
I think it's in the trailer, right?
It is.
Because I was like, when were they together?
That was it. You saw it.
And I didn't have any moments with you, did I? At all?
I
And
know.
Casey-
I'm always siloed into a strange world, and I would have loved to do so much more with you guys.
Well, I'm siloed in that world with you this season. Really,
To answer your question, Bridger, though, I will say I did film a scene with Paul, your wife, June Diane Raphael. Like I said, she co-stars a lot with me, and we did get to film a scene at Fast Fashions where we've hired only male models to work for us, and we harassed them all. And we were laughing so hard, dropping pencils, so they had to get down and get
so
them.
good.
It really was we were like, this is healing. It's fulfilling in a way. We said to the men, like, eyes down here. You will give me some respect.
Eyes down here.
Down here. It was healing.
My breasts are down here.
Yeah.
What, can you say that line,
Where
Casey?
you
It
were
was
barefoot.
about what people should be eating. Do you remember that line?
Oh yeah, we were just telling these models they needed to eat less, and just getting to do such a flip of that normal culture that you see with women in the workplace. But the women, we said, all looked amazing. But the men, June said we have Topless Tuesdays coming up, and you guys, you look like shit. You guys looked so funny.
Wow. Well, yeah, I think. Oh, and there's also, I don't even know if we've mentioned, there's kind of a murder mystery element this season.
Yeah, it's probably our most kind of serialized season yet, and it definitely follows. There's quite a few murders. I think it's safe to say there's a very high body count in this season. So that's also been really fun to play with, on top of getting to explore all of these other sort of professions that we're finding. But there's a very intense murder mystery that goes on this season.
Right.
And Bridger, I would say, because obviously you're in the writing room, your writer's room, for like the last 2 seasons. So what is it like for you, in the sense of, like, you've been there to develop the story, then the scripts are written, and then what happens on set, and obviously what happens in editing? Like, is it very close to how it all comes about? Like, what's that process like? I'm just curious from your point of view to see.
Good question.
Yeah.
And I think that this is a long-winded way for Paul to say, we don't have the last episode and we've got to go next week.
Yeah, that was the one about.
I'm very aware.
What about us?
Let's let a writer tell us what's going to happen.
Yeah.
What's
We
happening?
do need to know, because apparently we're shooting it on Wednesday.
Yeah, we need.
That is an interesting thing about the show, because it's so story dependent, but also it evolves while production is happening. So it's interesting to see, like, I turned in my episode, I think, in February, and like, so up to that point, I think things have stayed fairly the same. But past that, I feel like things have shifted in some big ways. But like, obviously, you start off a murder mystery in episode 1, you've got to follow that through to the very end. So that's the through line that feels like it's held steady most of the time. But yeah, this show, out of any show I've worked on, has been the most that has evolved throughout production the most. It's very interesting it's like, I'll turn it on after it's aired and be like, oh, I don't remember any of that. This is almost surprising to me. I think that's like a good quality of the show. It's just takes so many turns, and it's so surprising that even someone who's working on it is like, oh, I don't recall even talking about that for 1 minute.
Well, I think there's some freedom with the show too, in the fact that they reorder certain things. Like they'll find like, oh, you know what, we maybe save that for too late.
Right.
We move that up early. So that the shows really are incredibly fluid, I feel like, at certain points.
Right.
Fluid is another way of saying sometimes not prepared.
Spontaneous?
I like spontaneous.
I like spontaneous.
It's like jazz. That's
Yeah,
the thing.
That's right.
Oh, beautiful, Bridger. That's
Beautiful jazz.
Way to
And
bring
like-
that all.
Right. I'm saying that because I'm getting the chat warning through Zoom that we have to wrap up.
Okay.
So, but I feel like we've gotten a good view of Black Monday season 3 here, and I thank you all for being here. I'm very excited for the show, and thanks for joining us for this 92nd Street Y Talk. The new season of Black Monday premieres Sunday, May 23rd at 10 p.m. on Showtime. Well, thanks, you guys.
There are no dings on this phone.
Thank you for doing this.
Thank you.
Yeah, thanks for taking your time out to do it.
Thanks, everybody.
Bye, everyone.
Bye.
y'all.